All right, so we are going to use the props I mentioned in the last video a little more in this one. So we're going to take whatever you had that was like a block, and you're just going to put it between your thighs. You're not squeezing the bejeebus out of it. It's just enough that you're going to be aware of whether your legs want to splay. If though you feel like it's too much effort to hold it there, that you're feeling like you're holding a lot of tension, you can just let it go. But you'll see what we're doing with it in a moment here. I'm going to put it down for now. So we're going to take whatever you have that's like a strap, and we're going to do it up right around the rib cage. So you can just tie it if you want to. If it's a yoga strap like mine, you can use the buckle. Doesn't matter. We're not going really tight. We're going snug enough that it's not going to fall anywhere, but not so tight that you feel like you're being squeezed. So just for now, first, we're finding that seated position. We're sitting up tall, as comfortably as you can. And we're going to bring our attention to our breath. So as you breathe in, feeling your rib cage expand into the fronts a little bit of the strap, possibly more so out to the sides of the strap, hopefully. And you should also feel a bit of expansion into the back body too, into the strap. So you can just sit here with your hands on your thighs. You can close your eyes. And we're just going to feel that the rib cage is in fact expanding. If it's not, and you tend to be a chest breather, the sensory of the strap being there can help you direct your breath to that area so that you can begin practicing breathing with the full rib cage, the full lungs. And if at some point this strap becomes annoying or uncomfortable or whatever, you can take it off, but we're probably going to aim to do a bunch of these movements with the strap on so that you can continue to be aware of your breathing, a little more tactile-like, as we do some shoulder movements and some spinal movements. So this is where I'm going to bring my block or towel or whatever it is back in. I'm going to have it between my thighs, straps around my rib cage. I'm going to bring my fingers together and touch my fingers just underneath my chin. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I want my head and neck and sternum to stay as a unit, and I don't want to lead the twist with my arms. So we're just going to inhale at center. Feel that strap. Exhale as you start to twist. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist. So the movement is coming from like belly button-ish area to top of sternum area. My head's just going along for the ride. And I'm really trying to use the obliques, the muscles that are like finger-like in the abdomen to create this motion. And, you know, they kind of come from right around where this strap is. So if you can kind of imagine this strap being sort of the origination of the movement, that might be helpful. And the reason we have the block between the thighs is we're not wanting to do these kinds of things where we're pushing off with the legs, or we're rotating the pelvis on the seat of the chair, or we're lifting a bum off the chair. The pelvis, that soup bowl that we talked about in the last video, and down are just quiet, solid, but not braced, aside from maybe if you're using the block, the effort to hold the block between your knees. But we're just doing a really simple, gentle twist. Notice how small you can make it for the sake of practicing that control, how smooth it feels or doesn't feel, and see if you can do it with like 10% less effort. Can you make it even lighter? And just this kind of nice, continuous sway from side to side. Now, what you'll also notice if you look at the screen is that my body is staying pretty straight up and down. Sometimes when people are running out of rotation in their spine, they will make it look like they're going to the side, like rotating to the side more by starting to lean through their body and do some side flexion and like really weight on the one butt cheek. We really want to keep our weight evenly distributed on the seat bones. And we want to pretend we're like my little model skeleton where he's got a post coming right up and he can only spin on that post. Okay? So let's come back to center and let's just revisit that feeling of the breathing on the strap. And now let's start getting the shoulder blades moving. So your hands are going to stay on your thighs, okay? They're not going to lift up. We're just going to let the shoulders start to rise just a little bit. Move back, come down the spine, and then just relax back forward to what's natural for you. Bring them up, back, down, relax, neutral. So it's just really tiny, really light. It's not a big, jerky movement. We're not getting the spine involved in a cat-cow way. We're not jutting the chest forward or back. We're not sending our head places. It's just really small. We can go the other way. Pay attention to that breathing. The strap, if you are able to see yourself on a screen or in a mirror or something, it's not this big thing where the strap winds up moving. It's just the shoulder blades. So the strap's pretty quiet. The only thing we're feeling with the strap is our breathing expansion happening. Okay? Then if we bring our elbows bent, we can play with opening them out and bringing them in. Now the movement's coming from up in the shoulder joint. And you're not holding that arm into your side body with a lot of effort, but you're also not bringing the arm away from the side body. So again, sometimes when people are sticky in rotation, they move that hand away from the midline by lifting the arm away from the side. Right now, we're just trying to rotate. So if all that you have is this, that's fine. If all that you have that is not aggravating or isn't firing up your neck or isn't making you hold your breath or clench through your belly is this, that's fine. All the movements we're trying to do are just within small, smooth, symptom-free or symptom-reducing ranges, okay? So you can do one arm at a time or you can do both at a time. It depends on how much concentration it takes for you. This is just rotation coming from the shoulder joint. So the first movement we did was moving the shoulder blade, that triangular bone on your back, around on the rib cage. This one is moving just the arm bone in the socket. Okay. Now if we let the arms come down by our side, we can let the arm come up just a little bit, not a lot. You don't even have to get to 90 degrees. We're just gonna alternate arms. And this is where, if you can do this in front of a mirror, that's really, really helpful, because you can watch the upper shoulder. When we're below 90 degrees of this movement, the shoulder blade does not really need to move yet. It's just the arm bone moving in the socket. And we certainly don't need the shoulder blade to shrug up. So whatever range you need to have, even if it's maybe here, if you go past this and you start to shrug, you feel that tension through the neck, chest, upper back. Bring it back a little bit and make it even smaller, where this is all soft and you're just moving from the arm bone. Visit the other side. Keep it really small. Okay. Let the hands dangle. We're going to send the fingertips of one hand straight to the floor. So we're introducing some spinal side flexion. You are probably going to feel the weight of your body go more into one bum cheek than the other, but we are not lifting the bum cheek off the floor, and we're not just dropping or pulling up this shoulder. We want to feel kind of like a shortening through here, lengthening through here. So the thing about letting the hands dangle and go straight down is it kind of helps keep your body a little more upright. Otherwise, people will sometimes do this. And I'm just kind of wanting a very small, very focused side flexion. And it doesn't have to be big again. Notice how your neck and head are responding. Do they feel strained, uncomfortable, guarded? If they do, make it a little smaller. Are you holding your breath? If you are, make the movement a little smaller. If you're clenching your jaw, make it a little smaller. The funny thing about this is it seems counterproductive or counterintuitive to make the movements as small as possible. But when you do that, you make the movements nice and clean, and you really isolate different parts of the body so that over time everything is moving as well as it can. And then in the end, what that gives you is more range of motion or more flexibility or more strength. When we power through and push through and just keep bypassing things that need some work, they never get the work they need. We're going to revisit that twist we did in the beginning of the other videos. So hand to opposite knee. Okay. All right. And let's just come back to our neck for a moment, and we're going to let the chin drop. We're going to let the ear roll to one side a little bit. Come back down. Other side. Come back down. And before we wrap up, we're going to do one more motion. So this is going to get your shoulder blade moving away from the spine and towards the spine. So with one arm, we're going to take the arm kind of like this, and we're just going to send that elbow back. Now, right now, it's just my arm bone moving in the socket. I haven't done anything through my torso. I'm going to start to twist through my torso now. And notice how your twist feels when you're also bringing that shoulder blade back versus when we were just doing this. It opens up a little more twist. So now we're going to come back around. My screen's going to sleep again. We're going to come back around and we're going to reach that arm forward. The elbow's going to start to straighten. We're going to feel that shoulder blade moving away from the spine. We're going to come back, bringing that elbow back, letting the body twist back. Not forcing anything. Nothing's too effortful. Keep it smaller if it's aggravating in any way. And come back forward. Okay. Now, we are adding twist here, but the main goal was the shoulder blade movement. So your hand moving out and forward is not just coming from the elbow and the fact that your body has twisted. You're really reaching that arm forward. And then you're coming back. And then we'll try the other side. So once you've brought that elbow back on this same side, come back through center. And now we're going to start to bring the other elbow back behind. Eventually start to let the spine twist back. Start to twist back to the front. Arm starts to reach across body and forward. Elbow starts to straighten a little bit. Body twists a bit more. And shoulder blade really moves away from the spine. As the arm reaches forward, start to draw it back. Untwisting, letting the arm come behind you a bit, starting to twist back through the torso. And having your arm this high is uncomfortable. You can do this with the arm lower. Kind of like when we were just reaching for the outer knee. And then coming back here. Notice your breathing. Okay. All right, and then now you can come back through center. Do a couple little shoulder rolls. Again, hands stay on the thighs so that you're not tempted to make it like really big and really fast. So just really small. It's just the shoulder blades moving on the rib cage. Come back to stillness. See how the head's floating over your body. Come back to that breathing in the rib cage. If you still have the strap there, just notice if you're feeling that expansion more than you did before. If you don't have the strap there anymore, just notice if you're able to start detecting that expansion out to the front, out to the sides, out to the back a little easier without the tactile aid of the strap. Okay. And then that's it for this little practice. So we got some breathing, we got some ribcage expansion, we got some spinal twist, we got some shoulder blade movements in various ways, a little bit of neck movement, and next we'll kind of look at the pelvis, thighs, and lower back.